So we've had the first lot of the potato seed delivered. We've split it into two groups. We've got large seed and we've got small seed on this side. So what we're doing now is processing the small seed. We're putting them through the hopper and we're separating them out in trays for chitting. So the reason why we're starting with the small seed first is that when we put them into the fridge, they'll be last to be planted, because we want to be planting the large seed first, so it's got a bit more advantage to grow because the seed's slightly larger. Yeah, we want to be planting them first. So first stage, we brought them in here after delivery. Now we're ready to start processing them. So let's go through. Potato seed in the bag on the forklift. We've got it hovered over the hopper and we're putting these straight into the trays. And the reason why we put them into these trays is because previously, for past however long our dads have been doing it, we planted the first 5 acre by hand. So what you do is you put them into these trays, which leaves a gap between each tray, allowing the seed to chit, so you get the little eyes coming through. This year, we're actually going away from the automatic planter, from the hand planter, should I say, and we're using just an automatic planter, which you've seen in episode 1. Go and give that a watch. This year it's going to be a little bit different from what people have probably seen usually, because people usually put them into actual chitting cages, which you then just tip them with your box rotator and your telehandler straight into the automatic planter. Whereas for us, we haven't got them this year. We will look at purchasing them for next year. So this year what we're going to do is we're just going to go do what we normally do, put them into the trays, allow them to chit, and then we'll just hand tip the boxes into the automatic planter. So because we used to use these trays for the old hand planter, you would put them in hand planter, you'd sit down, you'd take them out the boxes and put them into the cups that we were rotating on the planter. So a little bit different for us, but we've got to go with what we've got this year, and next year hopefully it'll be a little bit better. So the spuds have been put into the trays now. These will be left in here for a couple of weeks. We'll have the door sealed and we'll get some heating. And then the potatoes will start chitting and you'll see the eyes coming through on the potatoes. So stay tuned.
Yeah. So it's a couple of weeks on now from when we last checked these potatoes and even just put them in. So we're just going to have a quick look at them, look at how they've developed and how they've progressed, and we'll talk you through it. Right, so these have been in a controlled, heated environment inside what was our fridge, but obviously it's cold enough outside at the minute we can keep the leaks in the shed. So we're able to use this fridge to put some heaters in for the potatoes to develop these little sprits. So these little buds that grow off, as soon as they're put into the ground, they'll grow and grow and grow, and then more buds will come off those and then make other potatoes. So with smaller seed, you do tend to get only a couple of buds that shoot off. However, with a larger seed, you'll get more potatoes off this one. There's about 14 to 16 pallets in here, which is a good few acres worth. We'll get about 2.5 acres in on Monday and then leave it another week and then get another 2.5 in. Only reason for that is that we can stage our potatoes in the early months because obviously we're growing new potatoes, loose skin. We want to keep them as small as we can. No, really happy with them. They shouldn't really knock off. We want to keep them on, as much as we can. Don't want them falling off as that I've just demonstrated. So yeah, they're nice and strong. When we put them in the planter, they go around the belts, around the cups, in the ground. They should stay intact, and then we'll get a nice good head start. We're leaving the door open now. The potatoes have got enough sprit on them and they're nice and strong sprits. So we've opened the door, taken the heaters out for the temperature to drop, stopping the progress of the sprits. Just keeps them nice and short, nice and strong, because if they were to get any bigger, then they'd only knock off when practically got to start again. That's why we, as soon as we get to the stage that we need them, we'll open the door, heaters out, bring the temperature down, stop the growing, and then they're ready to go in. So obviously these chitting boxes, these chitting trays, we've used them for God knows how long now. We are trying to move on to a better system of doing it. They do like chitting stillages almost, steel stillages, which hold about a ton and a half potatoes at a time, and you can stack them up, and they're much easier to tip into automatic planters as well. However, we couldn't get our hands on them this early, so we've had to use these this time, but obviously we'll just have to tip them into the planter when the time comes. However, I'll show you how we used to use them. Right, we're here. Ta-da! There she is. Brand and manufacturer unknown. I couldn't tell you. Someone else might be able to, I'm not sure. I'm sure that was some name or make. Should we take a look inside? It's a very complicated system. Very advanced hardware. So make sure you sat down. That's it. 4 at a time. Stack your trays up in front of you, down the sides, and up the top there. Obviously you'll lean over, grab yourself a tray, bang it on there, which is a lot of hamstring work. Usually called the back breaker, 3000 this bugger. So yeah, you bang your trays there. As the tractor's driving along, there's a series of chains and sprockets and drive rollers, which will turn these cups in a anti-clockwise rotation, and you'll just pick the potato seed out, drop them in each cup. That'll go round. When it gets to the top hole, you should be able to see there, just on that one there. Once it gets to that one, there's a gap, it'll drop down, and there's a rudder at the front which will cut a V open up the soil, potato will drop in, and then these disc rollers at the back will fold the soil back over the potatoes so that they're all at a nice even depth. It's effective, it's worked for us over many years. Not as efficient because most people don't want to sit on it. No, I don't. We got some new seats though the other year, they're lovely and soft. They used to be just steel seats. They were quite hard going, and a bit of foam to protect your knees off the guards. But yeah, like I say, it's worked. It's allergic to grease and oil. If you grease and oil it, it just doesn't want to work anymore. Something breaks. So it's better bone dry. We are going to sadly steer away from this system, sadly but not sadly, steer away from this and go on to a bit more of an automated system, which will take half as much staff to use, and it will be a lot faster as well. Although this did a job, we're going to move on now. Sadly, we're going to move on. We're going to move with the times, get into the 21st century and use a machine and not 4 broken backs. But yeah, it's like I say, it's dead simple. It works every time. It's made us a hell of a lot of money. But see it go? Yeah, it's kind of almost like it's putting it into retirement. It's not going anywhere. We're not selling it. We're not scrapping it. We're just putting it into retirement for now.